can't tell, me as a play-by-play coming from League of Legends, I am having a blast because it is constant chaos.
Magical, we can hear you having a blast. You are like every time that like a team fight pops up on screen, you get so excited, and it's really, I mean, it's been wonderful to see these teams play, and to get to do them justice in that way. It's been really wonderful, and we are going to be doing it for the last time today, starting just around now, as our teams are once again dropping in.
Here we go. Final game for NA. Final game of the day for Livin' La Viva Loca. There we go, I got it. And we are having some awesome action yet again. We even get the last door here. And these players, if you don't know, these players are probably the best ones that we have in the lobby. They were the first players to reach 100 wins on the leaderboard. These are players that stream constantly, so definitely check them out when you can, especially if you want to learn how to play SUPERVIVE, because those are the players to watch. While main characters definitely are going to be no slouches themselves. The Giant Turtle has to get out of there unless they want to look for the fight against Passion Fruit. Getting the engage, looking for Jelly, but it's going to be pitting some damage onto him. He's able to kite back, but the Jewel follow-up, trying to chase him down. It's only going to be the 2 knocks if they're able to get anything out of that with a blast away. Almost taken. The grind will be able to get out of there, and Passion Fruit do not get knocked.
It's crazy that they survive here, and it actually transitions us perfectly into the storm shift for today, as we see them get away. Unlimited glider fuel is going to provide us a lot of aerial battles and escape opportunities, Magical.
Yeah, it is, and that's what's going to be fun about this. We already saw how fun it could be with the double hover wings earlier today, so seeing how this will play out with the unlimited glider fuel for both teams and how they can move around is going to be crazy. I'm really looking at these teams. I honestly think that we are going to have the most teams we've ever seen in the final circles. There's a possibility we have 5, honestly, like in those really tight quarters.
You get enough space, you could fly forever too, you know? Create your own space, a little castle in the sky, as it were. Soul on a quick move away.
Look at that, they're just doing exactly that. By the way, you don't want to go over land when you have the unlimited glider fuel, because when you do, you actually automatically drop.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way.
I wish that I could glide the whole game, but
yeah, you can if you're
gotta
over
stay.
The void. If you're over
yeah,
the void,
it's true. It's true.
I
actually have like I have circumnavigated Cold Fang Keep with unlimited glider fuel once. It was a little ridiculous, but I got the rest, so it worked.
All right, well here's last door. Playing up aggressively against GoHog. We haven't seen last door here in NA, but I believe they did play earlier today. So get to see them a bit on how they are going to be matched up against our top teams here, especially looking at how GoHog's one of our...
And with the other thing we haven't really seen in our game today is Void. And last door, very much with a Void, are going to have opportunities available to them that are available to no other team. You mentioned the experience of this squad. We're going to see it on display right now as Phoenix jumps on board. Somehow, Shiv lives for a second too long, but will eventually go down with Venom jumping right on top to finish this knock.
Yeah, I think I'm back. My Discord unfortunately crashed right there, so I'm back in the action. Last door, still fighting up against GoHog. Gotta be careful, Phenom taking a lot of the damage, getting a lot of the focus. Void over to the other side, but now the knocks are working out for the side of Last Door, trying to close that door on GoHog, but that's gonna be the turnaround. Jank getting one back, and guess who's here? Weddle looking for the flank to get a lot of damage. They try to disengage the best they can. They've gotten the revives they need to. Flying back towards their base. Gives them a lot of information. But keep in mind, there's another team. There's a third party that could enter the fray, as Stevenator was able to get away. GoHog now the ones on the defensive play as they kite back, but main characters now trying to insert themselves into the story. Looking for Last Door. The dash is over. Hover wings again. Prismaticism wants to fight onto Last Door. Wants to knock him out early. Looking for the knock, but it's going to turn around out of Dylan. With them still playing aggressively. Giant Triple almost got Phenom, but now it's flashed over to the Void. Doesn't actually find him just yet. He'll glide his way on out of there. While we see that GoHog now find themselves in a good spot. They're trying to open up the vault so they can get the tier 5 armor and then look for the play. While there's going to be the pick on to Amador. And with Last Door now flying away, that's going to be the end of the skirmish for now.
And I know they're an experienced team, but you can tell Last Door are rattled after that fight. Prismaticism again, going for the hover wings in sec, Flay smashes Stevenator into the wall, but even so, Hogs stay up. Weddle disengaging. We've got the other two coming in now with gold armors. Jackalacken makes his move. Weddle chasing down Shiprel.
And now it's going to be Go Hog chasing away the other members here of main characters, splitting them apart, improving, creating some zone control with the help of the laser and the anti-mobility field. So they are split up, but it is going to be difficult for them to escape, improving, trying to do so, but you ain't improving this situation. Even if you dash back, they can hunt down this one unless we're trying to get the knock over the void, but you missed out on it, and it's going to be the knock there for Stevenator.
Main characters do survive, giving up the singular kill. We'll likely see them get a res in the next couple of minutes, but the rest of the map very much converging on this southwestern side. Hog, the most recent owners of this bonfire, and a great high ground to control, especially in this early game. It does look like we'll be going a little bit further north, and I want to talk about the two things that have just hit the map. Shrapnel Soul and Night Stalker Soul that we have not yet seen during these show matches. Night Stalker, very valuable, especially if you want to catch a team by surprise.
All right, Zenith in a bad spot because look who is north. They have to worry about Passion Fruit. We've regrouped and found themselves in the spot, but also then look further north, and you have Tim there too. So there's a lot of bad spots here for all our teams. As Passion Fruit try to fight their way against Zenith, doing only a little bit of damage at the moment. Well, they have to say sayonara onto the fight, get a better spot because they know they can get flanked too easily.
Zenith, Dolphy especially, a big focus for me this game. Dolphy's roots were critical in our last round. They have just managed to pick up a singular soul, that is Shrapnel Soul. That'll give them a little bit more armor shred, something that'll really come in handy, especially if they want to fight one of these two teams. Zenith, again, with a big root, but no knock to follow up on it.
Not just yet. They are still playing aggressively, though, and they're chasing down on Tao Bao. Almost getting the knock there. Wall, they have Gren, who's got the flank from Bishop. They got to be careful. There's Celeste getting attacked by the minions, too. Maybe helping out the side of Zenith. Well, there's going to be Pen finding the solo kill on the other side, and then the chase down from Dolphy. Looking for Tao, and we'll find it secured. Going to confirm it. The Wisp taken out of the equation. Well, Solid are still there and might want to enter the fray, but Wool are completely out of the fight. Even if Steel does get tapped there and gets knocked out, they got one surviving member.
Most aggressive Aluna I've ever seen. Dolphy just cannot be stopped. I saw him chase down the Celeste. Having an aggressive Aluna, actually very valuable as long as you're able to keep the rest of the team alive. Faye, do step forward, and Fable with the first knock should be finding another team to wipe here. Trade of the ults out of Oath, but gets blocked by Dunmere, and Fable solidly in control of that fight. Take the win in it as well.
Another story should have another story in this game, gliding on out of there. There's going to be a hard spot, and they should be spotted out because there's going to be a lot of noise made on the rail. The fact that there's something even more important to play for, one of the souls, things like main characters, realizing that that first game that we saw here for NA, our fourth one of the day, that they were missing out on some of these important stats late game. So they decided to get themselves the soul early, so they feel much more impactful later in the game.
Main characters controlling Heart, and with Night Stalker Soul now have a pretty big advantage. We already know this team likes to jump on teams and disorient them. What if you never saw them coming? A terrifying prospect, and one that we're going to see become reality as right in the middle of the zone. Main characters can pick on anyone in the surrounding area. With Soul just above them, does look like we'll see Solid and Zenith take an engagement soon. Both teams right next door, and Pensado knows it.
All teams are still up. Oh, never mind. There's unfortunately another story. The story has been written, and Passion Fruit did find that knock on the other side, but I am looking at how Solid is playing up against Zenith at the moment. Like, if they were going to go for the push, instead it's going to be Fable and another door. Our first place winners from our first match of NA going against the team that I already touted as being one of the strongest that we have for NA.
Faye have made it to multiple end games and very well could challenge last door, but to do that, they've got to survive Hog.
They got to first survive, and it does seem that they will be able to do so. Trying to keep themselves on this island. That is going to be the Gunner, so the Hudson and Oath plays I was talking about. You put up the shield, have the machine gun ready with the spin barrels. You get just this free damage in these tight corridors. That's going to force Go Hog over the void. That can allow for some free knocks, but it does seem that Faye are falling back the best they can towards just these lasers and getting themselves, I think, in a better spot. They didn't really have much to play over, so they're fine just getting out of there in case there was going to be a fight.
Laser is always a good way to disengage since they really do not allow the team pursuing you to make mistakes. A lot of squads will choose not to go for that, and rightfully so. Taking down a boss meanwhile. Just farming up for this late game, and picking up Guardian Angel will actually give a really big boost to Tim Garfield's fighting potential. Not Tim Garfield.
Yeah, from the last playtest we had, the last show matches we had, Tim Garfield actually took a very surprising victory. And the last two, I believe, were in that as well as Fable. So this could be some time for retribution, as now they're going to fight, and it's going to be Faye that find themselves in a bad spot, and looks like they're going to be wiped out pretty early. Even though they did get Flappy Penguin to survive, he's got a long ways to go if he wants to get any of these revives.
And they're a team that I'd be more worried about than your average squad, because Fable do rely a lot more than other squads on getting good itemization into the late game. That's something that now they're unable to do given a reset. Although Flappy does survive.
He survives. Last door were thinking about hunting it down, but decide not to play into the storm, thinking that that's where Flappy went. So instead, they're looking for the plays on a Go-Hog, and they got a flank because they start showing up into this fight. That's going to be the blast off, but it didn't connect onto anybody. JustReliq missing that one. So Go-Hogs have to regroup and reconvene on what they want to do. The pull back in, nearly helping them out. Eye of the Storm has been popped. They don't want to chase it, though. They're going to back out of that one, push back the last door towards this island.
Not an interaction that I get to see very often, but seeing Sandwall actually block Oath Ult completely changes the course of that fight. Yeah, very, very rare that you get to see those two abilities hit at the same time. It's the biggest difference, however, for these squads, and the micro interactions will continue as we've still got 8 teams left, a lot of survivors into this zone, and we are about to hit the next day. A reminder that Night Stalker Soul's still on main characters. Everybody playing this round a little bit safer than they were before. We've seen a lot of fights, but not a lot of team finishes.
That's kind of what I was suspecting. Whenever you have the unlimited glider fuel, that's for like the sign for all teams to play safer. I feel like they're just like, okay, we don't want to go for too much because how easy it is to get away, and they don't want to risk their armor getting too dinged up before any big fights. So they want to wait until later into these fights, find better positions. But speaking of bad position right now, Dylan having to dash back, even using the jetpack in a dishonorable way just to disengage and try to get out of that one to get the giant ship roll. But now it's a re-engage. Maybe Dylan, it was all bait all along, over the void, tries to see if they can hover glide out of there. It is going to be the first knock. Duel following it up, looking for Prismatic system, but now they've got the flank and they could revive if they want to. But keep in mind, JustReliq still nearby and could look for some damage themselves. Weddle on the tracks, but it's all waiting it out for main characters. They want to disengage this.
And your MVP keeps showing up. Prismaticism pops in again, lets the rest of the team get the revive, and gets away, grouping up with the squad to find another knock. Prismaticism really keeping main characters alive, and will have to do so once again as Giant Triple gets knocked. Dylan is left alone in the front lines, no armor left. Prismaticism and improving disengage, knowing this fight is doomed.
Yeah, I like that from Dylan. Just get away. You know that you need the team to get the rests off anyways. Just use everything to get back towards the enemy. Keep them away. And now Passion Fruit trying to engage off the fight that happened before the Eye of the Storm. Going to be able to get the dash over. Looking for Ghost, but he's able to hop his way over that one. Look how low Go-Hogs are at the moment. Nearly taken out. Hoganator does find one on the Passion Fruit, while the rest of the team of Passion Fruit trying to get the res off. Keep him away. That's going to be a sword grenade. And the damage. Oh, it's taking down Weddle. The chase down from Ghost. Finds the double knock on the Stevenator. Just needs a little bit more damage. Doesn't get the grappling hook away as Go-Hogs go out of this fight. Chased down by Passion Fruit. But Zenith showing up at the same time and look for the fight. Not able to get any knocks just yet. Unlimited glider fuel making that a little bit easier to escape for both sides.
Just like last game, I am amazed by Water Blaze's Vortex charms. The ability for Zeph to start and finish a fight with one of those is absolutely unmatched, even in the support class. And I want to see a few more of those plays, and I'm sure we'll get the chance to. When Zeph connects with one, it is devastating.
I also got to say, we've seen a lot of really good flame shields in this. The Felix pull in, that gets the shield on top of it to start a lot of these fights off. And now we have the base camp thrown out. Solid trying to get control over here, but they got to be careful. That's going to be the Earth Splitter, splitting up the fight momentarily. A little bit of damage into the back line, but Solid are fine. They're still up, and here comes the nuke to scare away Tim Garfield.
Somebody really doesn't want to fight, and Tim Garfield, as much as they sure would like to take the engage, through a storm grenade, a tree prison, and a nuke, something about that feels a little too much.
Yeah, just a little bit much. It seems like Solid were not in the best spot. They wanted to get a better spot for themselves, while Passion Fruit are in a horrible spot, having to use Blast Off to disengage and get back in a better position as the Storm is starting to push up. But now, Last Door finding main characters. They want to take that title away from them and nearly getting the knock. But Passion Fruit will show up. Dylan pinched by the third party there. Passion Fruit finding that knock. Well, Zenith are going to play as the fourth, pushing up towards Wind Forcer, almost pushed away by the Celeste, dashing back to the team. Here's going to be another base thrown out while Last Door looking for a little bit of the damage on his end, trying to re-engage, getting a lot onto Oath. They need to do something quickly because that was a lot taken by the tank, while Spicy Marinara taking just as much, but almost was Jelly starting out the fight. The Chonkers cannon has been thrown out. Zenith are in a bad spot, and they are getting attacked. They're getting pushed back towards the Storm momentarily. One team's got to go for this. Which one is going to look for it as the Storm grenades have been thrown out?
Everyone really recognizing that Passion Fruit is their biggest problem. Zenith don't have a clear way out of this, but what they do have is a little bit of time. This Storm not moving in just yet, and the Last Door have already started exiting the scene. In from the top end, Hog are coming in, putting a little bit of pressure onto Passion Fruit, who even with the deployable base camp, don't have a very comfortable spot.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams are on the minimap right now. We see that Solid are just outside of this fight. We have so many squads right here ready to fight.
And main characters have gotten all the way back in. I'll give you one guess. Who was able to get away and res the squad?
If it wasn't Prismaticism, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, it happens so many times. And because they had one person alive, they've still got Night Stalker Soul. So undetectable visually right now. You've got an incredibly powerful squad on high ground. The Last Door in a position right next to them. In just a little while, you can see on the minimap.
There's 7 teams remaining. Solid trying to get away. Oh no! Go Hog!
He doesn't
know.
Spot
him and get a free knock there. There goes our 7th team. Doesn't count there, but I don't think that this is going to stop anytime soon, because now Last Door are pushing up into main character. These two teams have been fighting tooth and nail for that top spot to take it away. The dash back by Abador, but that's going to be the jetpack and the flame shield missing. Didn't get the damage they needed to on the main character. All the while, Tim Garfield are still trying to get a little bit of pittance of damage on the main character, scaring them away back into the circle.
Having Most Wanted right on top of main characters is pretty nice as well. They try to disengage, but move a little too far north, watching this fight between Passion Fruit and now Zenith, who have arrived.
Go Hogs have themselves this flank onto Zenith. They've spotted him out. Who is going to be the first team to make the call? Which team is going to be the first one to look for the fight, especially with how close they all are? Main characters kind of bouncing back and forth like they're going to be the team.
Chipperl for an engage as well, always attentive on Brawl. Remember that there are basically no powers. There's no armor on main characters. When they go in, it must be their final engagement.
I thought for a second that we were about to see Passion Fruit use the Zeph Tornado into the first fight. Instead, they're just using that hover glide to get right into the center of the fight, looking for a little bit of vision control. It's still 6 teams. I was not far off with this. I said 5 teams would be in the final circles, and we have 6 still remaining.
What's interesting here is that unlike some other end games that we've seen, especially with unlimited glider fuel, there's not a lot of abyss here. A lot of this is ground we're not seeing the normal play out.
Dekalakin just gets annihilated there as they do throw down the Ice Prism and find the knock onto Jag. Go Hogs in a bad spot, and they don't have a way out of this one but through the storm. As Zenith were able to get the knocks, but they got to be careful. Main character pushed away by the wall while Passion Fruit trying to play up, getting the engage, but Felix unfortunately doesn't have anything to play around besides Aluna as we get the bot part of the fight, and that's going to be another knock. This time it's Tim Garfield getting taken out by Last Door. Both teams so close to fighting each other. The reses are there to keep this going.
Passion Fruit applying a lot of pressure right now as these are your last 4 squads. Broken armors everywhere. Passion Fruit going to be picking a few of theirs up over at this base camp, but not a lot of space to play for anyone. Main characters, the only team in zone, and Prismaticism still dancing around, is not going to get spiked on the way back, but is actually really...
That was funny technique, because the Shrapnel Soul allowed it so that Prismaticism went for the hover glides over there and wasn't spotted out, but got the free vision. That's something I didn't know you could even do.
It has been quite nice for them. Nice Dark Soul providing a lot of value to main characters. Last door slowly pinching in on Passion Fruit. You gotta pick his side, Passion Fruit.
Oh, it's gonna be Zenith who actually started. They looked for the fight, they looked for the play with Ice Prism, but it didn't get onto anybody but onto Jelly. Now thrown back in. There's gonna be another member of Passion Fruit taken out. While Last Door, they're on the hunt now. They know that they could go for the fight, but the rest of them are trying to get there for the side of Passion Fruit, but they're not able to get it just yet. Instead, it's Zenith playing aggressively, playing up, waiting to see if they can go for the push onto Passion Fruit, trying to push him off, but it's gonna be the res is there for Passion Fruit, and they get out of it. They come out TP away, but right into main characters. Ice Prison locking you in your own doom there. Almost eliminated, but just need that last one from Jelly, who tries to glide away, but they've spotted it out. Jules looking to pick up the kill. They get the knock they needed to, while Last Door trying to get the fight on the main character, and they get the damage that they need to. Last Door, this is their time to strike. They are taking that spot away from the main characters themselves, and only need to get 2 more, and they control onto the respawn beacon. All the while, Zenith on the other side, waiting to play it up, and that invisibility helping improving, getting towards the crowd.
And this time, it's Improving who has got to be the savior of the squad. Last Door and Prismaticism still alive. Again with Nightstalker Soul. Does pop up with the hover wings. Is going to watch Improving go down. No way for Prismaticism to get the squad back in without this Most Wanted. And so Improving must be the one to stay alive, because Prismaticism, for as much survivability as they have, don't have a lot else.
And that's why Prismaticism decides to go back towards the team, and guess where the circle is pushing, DiA? It is pushing up the main characters. This could give them that angle to find these knocks. They just need one over the Void for Improving. He's done so much in the past. Tries to dash back over the Void with the unlimited glider fuel at his disposal, but he doesn't actually get the damage just yet. Zenith are still on the other side, and they've got all 4 members back up.
Now, what you'd love to do as main characters is watch Zenith and the Last Door fight, but there's no reason for it to happen, especially with these storm grenades that keep getting tossed between the 2 teams. We are just stalling things out. It is a minute left until main characters get their 3rd and 4th back into the game, and Zenith want to punish this. They may just be able to. Next shot would do everything, but it gets the knock!
What a play there from Improving to find the knock, but they got to be careful. Zenith were able to play up towards them and got Improving, the MVP of this game, getting him back in, unless Last Door will slam that door, push back in. Prismaticism takes out Amador, and they've still got the fight, but the black hole has been thrown out to lock in Giant Chip Roll. Zenith are still playing. Main character half 3 up, trying to get the push back in, but that's going to be a little bit of damage. Waiting for Improving, who got res in that fight. Now Prismaticism back into it, getting a lot of damage, but guess who's here? It's the Last Door, chasing down these kills and looking to end the game. They got to get something. Zenith are still alive, and same with the main characters. While Lemur was on the other side getting away, Zenith might be executed. Spicy Marinara, the last one, while main characters trying to push back in.
Main characters
back, and they got the res they needed to. Looking for the pulls. This could be the main characters taking out the Last Door. Beat off, gonna get the attention from the team. The Felix trying to get away, but Prismaticism has followed it up. Main characters 1v1 against the Last Door. The revives attempted, trying to get what they can. Phenom's gotta be a hero, a monster, a monument for the team if they want to win this 1v1 duel, but only 1 bit of damage. Main characters pick up the win.